the tripod responsibly. So I'm like, oh, hey, bro.
Yeah,
I was just
Amazon got it like that.
Well, if I'm giving TNT $1 billion.
No, the NBA, because TNT can't get it back. Yeah.
The NBA. We're going to get there too. We're going to get there. How you feeling? How you been?
Hey, I'm good, man. I took kiddo to the beach. Speaking of Dirty Myrtle. We was in North Myrtle Beach last week.
That's for you, Taylor. We'll talk about it later.
So he was he's always like, Dad, you never take me anywhere. You always going. So I was like, all right, man, we're going down to the beach for a few days. So.
Did y'all stay in North Myrtle or
North Myrtle, man? You got to stay in North Myrtle.
So
if you go with the family, you definitely got to stay in North Myrtle.
So I was talking to Taylor, and me and her was having this conversation. I was explaining to her the logistics of North Myrtle Beach and regular Myrtle Beach, and she was like, what does that even mean? I'm like, nah, you got to specify.
Yeah.
Get bit by sharks or shot.
So, Myrtle Beach is cool. I mean, Wilmington, I think is probably better, but
Facts.
Myrtle Beach is just so much larger. More stuff to do. Yeah.
You go to Wilmington, you're going to go over one of them bridges, and it's only like 2 racist bars, and they close at 10. And then
yeah, you got to hope it's not an accident on the bridge. It's like Wilmington is a lot of logistics.
Too many.
Yeah.
I want to welcome everybody to the Black Dads Club. Me and Mike have made a pact to introduce this pod every episode to say our names.
And introduce ourselves. So Pastor Mike Will, for any first time listeners, you can find me on all socials at Pastor Mike Will.
I'm Gavin. Y'all already know what's up, man. I'm not doing this with y'all because we have been summoned to introduce ourselves. We're going to find a better, sexier, nicer, cooler way of doing that. Men do bad at doing stuff the right way. Like,
men are just bad at introducing ourselves in general. Like, if we meet somebody, we'll be talking to them for 20 minutes and then we'll be like, hey, what's your name, bro?
Bro, I never forget when my mom asked me what was True's name, which is Darnell's best friend. She was like, what's his name? And I said, I don't know. I call him True. And she was like, how many times you hung out with this boy? And I was like, I don't know, like 10, whatever times. She was like, you hanging out with somebody and you don't know their government name is a problem. And I need you to rethink that way of life. And she was right, man. All right. This is usually where the pod is going to begin. And hold on, let me find your boy, man. Shout out to Pastor Jamal Bryant.
Yeah, so we playing a Jamal Bryant clip.
Let me see. Is this the clip?
% of all divorces are black people.
Yes.
16% are Latino. This is the largest amount of single black women post-slavery. And so here's the disconnect nobody's talking about. The largest demographic of those who are single are educated, high-achieving black women. And so I know you done found Chef Boyardee, but everybody else is at Cookout and Chick-fil-A drive-thru. Black women who are single and did, here it is, everything the church told them to do. They went and got degrees. Mm-hmm. They are walking every day. They drinking water. Mm-hmm. They done pull pork it out of their diet. They saving. They go to midweek Bible study.
That's a lot.
It's still not happening. 30% of all divorces are black people.
If you don't know, that's Pastor Jamal Bryant. It's good to he looks good.
He's in Atlanta, man. He's in Atlanta. He's through all his. I wasn't saying it for that reason. He's done with all his BS. I'm saying because he was in Baltimore before, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
he was outside.
Atlanta's better than Baltimore. All right, it's much better.
I got an Atlanta story for you. Go ahead.
Okay, but I saw the clip, and it was one of those things. I listened to the clip, and the only question I really had is, and y'all know we talk about this all the time on the pod, is marriage important anymore? Right? I think people still want. I think we miss the companionship. Mm-hmm. And we underestimate how important companionship is. And then we sit here and we're like, the ladies are doing everything that they're supposed to be doing in order to be married, as if there's not men showing up to marry them. And I disagree with him on that. I disagree with him that, there's not a lot of good black men, that's available.
That's what you got for Mike. Always hears something that I did not hear. I didn't get that.
No, because they're saying that hey, divorces are happening, and I was just like, it's because we don't value companionship.
I do agree with that part. So let me address that before I get to my part. What I got from it. Is marriage important anymore? I don't know, and the reason why I say I don't know is because when you speak to somebody, when you're dating somebody, you do have to ask them if is an out okay with you. If you get unhappy, is an out cool for you? Is divorce okay? Is that an option? Is that like the first thing? Because I think that's what most people are afraid of, or not even that. I take that back. That's what most people ain't even talking about, bro. Like, yo, we get together, we get with this person, and the first time she gets upset, or she be like, you know what, I can't do this. You know what, I'm dipping.
Yeah,
or it's working through it issue. Now, what I wanted to ask is, or take this conversation to a different level, and I know we don't have church announcements today. Did the church fail black women? Because there was that thing of, hey, ladies, y'all need to, there was that ushering in of, hey, you're here to take care of home, raise the kids, X, Y, and Z. And then it turned into, you can't depend on no man, so you got to go get all of this. And then it turned into, okay, are you too qualified? Are you overqualified for the position that your man is expecting you? And I do wonder if the black church failed black women on expectations or whatever, or did you fail black women, or did you not prepare black men?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of questions for one. But for one, I think churches failed in the sense of it did not prepare blacks for living in America, right? So
you trying to
So I mean, you didn't tell you didn't.
Oh, we ready?
Churches should have been like saying, hey, you need to be on the front end of whatever issues that are going on in the country, right? Because church is where everybody's at. 20, 30 years ago. Church now, no. But 20, 30 years ago, people was in church more than they was anywhere else. Whether it's grocery stores, restaurants, hanging out with your friends, school, like work. More than likely you was at church more than anywhere else, right? So the churches failed because the churches did not get us ahead of the curve, right? As blacks, I was talking to one of my friends today, because we were talking about recruiting and like career coaching and different things, and I was just like, look, I said, if you get a degree, excuse me, not even a degree, if you get trained in Microsoft Excel, if you become an expert in Microsoft Excel and either Tableau or Power BI, you can get a job making $35 to $50 an hour right now, right? Because that's what companies need, period, point blank. Yeah. Right? That should be a message that should be coming from the pulpit. Fact. In the church, right? Church is a revenue base, all right? Yeah. You need people in the church to tithe to you, right? So it should be an incentive to a church to make sure everybody in the audience is making as much money as possible. Facts. Right? That never happened. And I think the destruction of the family, right? Whether it's COINTELPRO, CIA, propaganda program, when you do that plus an apartheid, and then you don't have people making enough revenue, I think the church failed us in that sense.
And we didn't have qualified people preaching. Sorry, don't mean to be disrespectful. How many times have you gotten up there and I used to question, can people read who was up there? And
there's a lot of times you see people in the pulpit that absolutely does not, do not belong in the pulpit. But you also had the inverse, right? You had a gatekeeping, right? You had people that were qualified, and then because some of the pastors had college degrees, right? Much of the, God forbid they go get a Bible college doctorate. Now these are the only people that should be running churches. So I think in the sense of black churches, we failed our community, right? I don't think we took church as serious as we should have taken it, right? Like, and I'm not even talking about serious in the sense of, do you want to go to heaven, right? I'm saying in the sense of you have a organized community of like-minded individuals in front of you 2 to 4 days, a week, or 2 to 4 times a week.
Facts.
There should have been a better job there. And I think part of the divorce is the fact that, it's income, right? And then I think the second part is we don't know how to control our emotions in relationships, right?
You speaking as men?
I'm speaking as adults.
Okay, cool.
As adults. But we can make it specific to men. But I think that has become the problem, right? Like it was rules and order instead of just.
Are you tired of mediocre haircuts and lackluster service? Look no further. Get ready to redefine your grooming game with the ultimate experience at No Grease Barbershop, conveniently located at North Lake Mall and Charlotte Premium Outlets. It's not just about a haircut, it's about the experience. No Grease Premium in North Lake sets a new standard for luxury with a full-service bar selection. Elevate your grooming experience even further with their signature drinks served during your service or while you wait. Whether you're looking for a classic fade, a timeless gentleman cut, or a bold modern style, No Grease Premium in North Lake got you covered with their design and color specialists. Let's not forget about the importance of routine self-care for men. Their partnership with Alpha Male Nail Care, exclusively at No Grease Premium, offers manicures and pedicures as a part of your routine grooming. Visit No Grease Barbershop at Charlotte Premium Outlets or North Lake Mall today, and make sure you tell them that the Black Dads Club sent you. Yo, I want to welcome everybody. I think this is episode 148, 149. I don't know. We got to check. 150 is coming up. But this is episode, I want to say 148 of the Black Dads Club. I am your host, Gavin, aka Coke, aka this is my official real intro. Real introduction of my name. And I got the wise man from the pulpit, Pastor Mike Will. Y'all, I went to Atlanta this weekend, and only reason why I'm saying that is, first of all, Atlanta is not a real place. Second of all, every location in Atlanta has the Waffle House calculator. If you don't know what that means, every time you go to Waffle House, no matter what you order, you can order the same thing at Waffle House 10 times. I promise you, it'll never come up to the same number.
Yeah.
No matter what. I get an all-star. My wife gets a Texas melt, and we get a side of eggs for roll every time at Waffle House. I've seen it as high as $40, and I've seen it as low as $17. It does not matter. And when the boy gave me the $40 one, I sent him back. I was like, you gotta go.
Yeah.
But Atlanta, bro, I got 2 Tito's and a hookah. The hookah was $35. Every time my bill came, because I went there twice just to like try this out, my bill came out to $90 every time. And I'm like, yo, where did the 2 Tito's don't cost $60?
That's insane.
And it was smaller than this.
So the hookah's 35.
Yes.
Is it 35 an hour maybe?
That was right up Atlanta's alley. I was only there for an hour and a half. I was shocked. I was like, yo, my hookah adventure at Crew in Atlanta cost more than my hotel room. Like that doesn't add up. But shout out to Sophia Barrett Photography Studios in Atlanta. Please look her up. I went to her maternity photography workshop. And I'm going to say this. I'm doing a whole nother clip on my photography pod if I ever find the record button for that. I'm going to review it. But let me shout out to her husband. He came, after everything was done, he looked at me and he said, I heard you said you from Charlotte. And I said, yeah, I drove down from Charlotte. And he said, I'm from Charlotte. So me and him had that connection. We was talking. And I said, bro, so how do you do this? And he said, every day I wake up, he said, I have 2 jobs, make my wife's life easier and help her make more money.
Nice.
He said, and his wife, I'll show you her stuff. Like,
yeah.
She showed us a maternity shoot she did for like 20 grand.
Wow.
Like she do that type of work.
She
ain't doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. You need to be doing what she doing.
Because I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. Well, come on, man. Stay in the lane. Stay in the lane, man.
So like, she was showing, so I went to her workshop and he was like, bro, he said, my job, I make her life easier. He said her job should be to shoot, to be creative. Everything else, whether it's handling our daughter, whether that's handling, he's like, I got to go up to Charlotte and do this tomorrow and I'm coming back home. He's like, make her life easier, make her more money. And that's what I do every day. He was like, it's just staying grounded in that, knowing that I'm assisting and growing. And me and him were just talking. I was telling him about Ro. And he's like, man, he's like, and I was telling him like, my wife is on the road. And he was like, dude, make her life easier. He's like, you still got to be the provider. He's like, this is my providing.
Yeah.
He said, my way of providing is going to get the money.
Yeah.
Bringing it home, saying we doing X, Y, and Z. You got it. He was like, dude, it works out so great for us. I want to shout him out, man. And just shout out from learning from there. But yo, if you're a dude out there, man, you married, yo, you still got to provide. No matter what you do, who you do it with, you got to provide. And fellas, we got to keep that in mind. Speaking of providing, it's time to provide for the country. We were supposed to record on Tuesday. We got behind. I had 2 big shoots to go back to back, so we couldn't do Wednesday and Thursday. And part of that is a blessing in disguise. I thought Joe Budden was trying to send us a message because they posted and deleted the podcast, but I thought they just didn't post. I was like, he might.
He waiting on us.
Waiting, making sure they see like, all right, let's see who copying who. And when we both didn't drop, I said, oh, we in trouble. He about to flame us up. But Kamala Harris, first of all, Joe Biden dropped out the race.
Is it Kamala or Kamala? Which one is it?
I'm gonna wait to hear her say it. What'd she say?
I have no idea. What's the East Asian pronunciation?
Oh, I see what we're doing today.
Which one is that?
I don't know. First of all, how do you feel about Joe dropping the race?
Gosh, man, like I really need to like pin some of our pods, because it's stuff that I know is gonna pop back up.
Yeah,
I clearly said 3-4 weeks ago that Joe Biden should not debate. For what? What are you doing it for?
You said that 2 weeks before the debate, so that might have been like over a month ago. Might be in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then after the debate, you said
you got to drop out.
You got to drop out. You definitely said that.
Yeah, like you got to drop out. So I'm not surprised by any of this. What I am surprised is that
he got taller.
I think it's a lot of pressure off his back.
So he got taller.
Yeah, exactly. He ain't got to be hunched over. I think it's a lot of pressure. But what did surprise me is him throwing his full support behind Kamala or Kamala, however it's pronounced, immediately thereafter. I sort of feel like that was kind of like thumbing his nose up at the DNC. So is she the best candidate for the role? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think we had one of the most qualified women of all time run, and she couldn't beat Trump. And I'm not saying that Kamala isn't qualified, so please do not misquote me.
Ready for
right?
that.
But what I am saying is, I think Hillary Clinton was obviously more qualified than Kamala. So when Joe dropped, like, I think me and you, our group chat had this conversation well before he dropped and was like, yo, he got to go. This is bad. He got to. He was old.
The debate was so bad.
Should never debated. He should have never debated. There was nothing to gain from that debate,
bro. If I knew nothing about Trump and I had watched that debate, I would have voted for Trump right after that. It just would have. That's how bad the debate was.
It was nothing to gain. Like, everyone knows that 85-year-old old people are in bed by 8 o'clock.
Facts.
So why are you trying to have a debate at 10 o'clock at night? It's not going to work. It's called sundowning for a reason.
I thought it was weird that, I mean, his reasoning for why he can't go on no more, we all know it's health reasons. My thing is, yo, you should stop being the president today.
Well, it's health reasons in the sense of like, yo, he's old, right? Like, yeah. I mean, bless us all to reach 80 plus years old, but when we're 80 plus years old, we're going to have health problems.
Yeah, facts.
Like, I remember when like my grandmother, like I remember like my mom would tell me, she was like, oh yeah, your grandmother, she has like a heart condition, right? And it's congenital heart failure. And and I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like grandma's going to be gone soon. Like I think my grandma lived like a decade after that, right? She was just old.
Yeah,
like she was in her 90s, bro, when she eventually passed away. Yeah, she drove probably like to like the last 3 years of her life. So like, this is the thing. It's like, yo, if he's old, so when you like, yo, Joe Biden has health problems, dude, I guarantee you the other guy has just as many health problems as well. He's old, right? So I think him dropping out was he couldn't keep up on camera, right? He couldn't keep up on video. Do I think that his mind is slipping? I don't. But do I think that he's old to the point to whereas it's a little bit slower, make more mistakes speaking, move a little bit slower? Absolutely. I mean, hell, I got bit by a dog like a month ago and I lost my balance trying to kick I'm like, that has never happened to me, right? True. I'm getting older.
You are 52, man.
I'm not soon.
One of my favorite Kirk Franklin quotes is, and it was about the church. Pastors gotta stop dying with the baton in their hand.
Ooh.
And
it's bars from Kirk.
It is. It's an amazing quote. And the reason why I say that is I feel like the DNC and Democrats, whether it was our sister that was on the Supreme Court, whether it's Joe Biden. Yo, Joe Biden comes to us a year ago and say, hey, my mental is not in the best interest of the country. I'm going to allow Kamala to run to finish out these next 2 years. Then we get to say, then we as a people get to choose. We get to watch. We get to pay attention. We get to decide on what's going on. Matter of fact, him saying a year ago, hey, I'm going to finish this term and I'm done. I'm done after this. It's up to y'all. That gives us a choice. Too many times the Democratic Party has shown us they are willing to die with the baton in their hand so they can't get past to the next person. And to me, it was wow. Now, I will say this. Black folks, they are going to, it's about to be gender war time times 10.
Well, I mean, gender war, racial war. I mean, hell, at this point, Twitter's damn near Stormfront.
Yeah.
At this point.
Facts.
But here's the thing. You can't have it both ways, right? Literally last week, everybody argued that if you have a black mother and a white dad, that child is more likely to be black than if you have a white mother and a black dad, right?
Okay.
And now it's being rammed down our throat that Kamala is a black woman and black men don't like black women.
What is she? And we're going to get to that next part because that's getting on my nerves.
What is she?
What, like,
I have always said on this pod, I am with what you identify as.
What is her background?
If you are, her dad is Jamaican, her mom is Indian.
Oh, she black. What's she Jamaican in India?
I've always said, if you're biracial, how do you identify? Don't play in my face with my ethnicity. Right, because I'm African American in this country, right? Mm-hmm. Don't play with black, right? Because if you're not from this country, your race is black, right? Mm-hmm. And if you are immigrant, you're born in this country, and if you call yourself a black American, I get it, right? But I'm African American in this country, right? Don't play with my culture, right? I have always said that. I've held that contention.
That's true.
I think Kamala was raised by
here we go,
a West Asian mom. I think she got sent to a black college university. And here's the thing, I don't have a problem with that. But let's stop pretending that a lot of upper middle class suburban blacks go to HBCUs for the black experience. Because at some point they felt that they've never received a black experience. And I have no problems with that, right? Mm-hmm. But let's also not pretend that she doesn't roll out whatever side she needs to roll out.
Oh, she the pandering queen
for that event.
She's good at pandering,
and I don't like pandering. I don't.
You don't.
Stay who you are. Stay who you are, and then let me decide if I like that person.
She is good at pandering. She's not better than Hillary at pandering. Hillary had Pusha T.
Can we stop rolling out rappers and entertainers for black folks?
That was amazing.
Can we please stop that?
Yo,
Dr. Henry Clark, professor, like always up there. Professor Wesley. Dr. Claude Anderson, right there, right? I'm talking about people that
we got Pusha T.
20, 30 years ago, we could have had black think tanks established, right? And even like now, all those people are old. Some of them are passed away. But you have Dr. Tommy Curry right there. You could put he literally exists, and you could bring him in right now to talk about the black experience. Like, stop giving me rappers and entertainers, man.
Pusha T.
And nothing against rappers and entertainers as rappers and entertainers. But you're not thought leaders, and I'm sick of this shit.
Hey, man, shout out to Pusha T. I still would do a meet and greet.
Hey, absolutely. Big ups to him. Did he just get promoted at Louis Vuitton or something? Mm-hmm. Hey, and see, that's nepotism. That's how you put your boy on.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I am 100% for nepotism.
Absolutely. I look at it like this. This is one of my tweets that we need pinned. I told y'all a long time ago, we got to decide. Y'all got to decide who black and who ain't, because I gave y'all my list. I told y'all told me this person was black and they mix the same way as this person. Also, Logic, there's a video of you doing they want to know if this white boy can say nigga. It was disgusting. That was the most disgusting video I've seen. That was disgusting. And again, that goes back to stop playing in our face. Stop playing in our face. Stop playing with my ethnicity. That might be a new segment right there. Let me ask you a question. Stop playing in my face. Sunday dinner, right? You like soul food, right? I know you do the Caribbean thing now. We're going to get that too, because we're getting back to that black men don't like black women. All right. So you like soul food, right? Love it. All right. Would you rather have, who would you rather cook for you or have dinner at their house, right? My grandma. Don't even. No. Kamala Harris. Come on, man. Or Rachel Dolezal. Who do you think got the best collard greens, fried chicken, macaroni? Rachel, hands down. It's not close. It's not even remotely close. Her greens gonna have the ham hock in it, the ham hock, or the turkey, the pepper flakes in it. The pepper, yep. It's gonna be one of them things where I'm like, yo, give me 2 to-go plates. The low vibrational place is there. Kamala gonna have quiche at it's gonna be trash. I mean, it's not even close. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. It's not even close though. That was not even close. I seen somebody. Yeah, that's funny. I seen somebody talking about they were preparing black women for what's to come, and I 100% agree. The quickest way to get popping on the internet, I've said this since like, I don't know, episode 40.
Yeah.
Kick black men's back in or play on black women's emotions.
Easy.
Black women, it's go time for y'all.
Lay up.
So it's hey, every time Kamala come out, we playing a Beyonce or Rihanna song. Let me give y'all the checklist. That's one thing on the checklist. Let me give y'all, I'm about to lean into my sorority. Matter of fact, I'm going to lean into all the sororities and play on Black Girl Magic. I'm going to go to all the fraternities and say, hey, D9, it's y'all time. Yeah, thank y'all for raising $2 million in 2 days for me. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for helping me raise $80-something million in a day. Like, it's go time. I'm going to every AME black church church that's available. I'm going to talk to Kojic. You know what I'm saying? No, my husband won't be with me at every function because it's just going to look weird.
Yep. There you go.
Yes. Trump is going to lean in that, hey, you know what? Hey, she's anti-Semitic, and guess what? I have a Jewish husband, so it's go time for that. And we're going to speak to that community. It's so many communities that's about to be played on that women, especially black women. We're going to talk about reproduction. You know what I'm saying? We're going to tap into this feminist thing. Like, it's go time for y'all. Also, what's go time is we're going to also have to kick black men's back in part of that. And we know we're going to lean into that. Yeah.
And this is the thing. I like when black men vote. I don't really care who you vote for. I care individually, but you know, as a whole, do you?
Yeah.
But this idea that it's like, hey, black men are responsible for anybody, you know, losing. Like, for one, y'all forget about this. In the 2020 primaries, everybody was behind Elizabeth Warren, right? And black men was just like, no, Southern black men, especially Southern black men from the Carolinas, right? Because our primaries came up early. And we had this discussion amongst ourselves in the cigar lounges and barbershops and on the golf courses. And everybody was like, yo, you vote for Elizabeth Warren. And all the black men were just like, no, we're voting for Joe Biden, right? Remember, Joe Biden was third. Y'all forget this. Joe Biden was actually third in the race. And we was just like, no, like, you know, we're voting. And nobody was doing that. Carolina primaries came along, Joe Biden won. North Carolina primaries was next. He won that one as well. The rest is history, right? So this idea that black men do not support or don't vote or we kind of was the influence on that because y'all was 100% behind Elizabeth Warren during that election. Even when black men, you know, I know Trump has more black male support than typical Republican candidates, but black men still vote between 85 and 90% Democratic.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing that black men are going to do or doing that would cause Kamala, however it's pronounced in East Asia, to lose this election. Right. Elections are based around, you can influence it, but elections are always based around what educated white women do. Right. Educated white women determine wherever election goes. Every time.
That's who y'all need to be worried about.
And it's like, yo, those are the conversations that need to be had. If y'all want to win this election, you need to go and have the support of educated white women. That demographic decides every election.
Everyone. Every
single election is decided by that demographic. And I think last night they said 164,000 ladies that came up, white ladies, right? So because I think the black ladies had did theirs on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So why y'all didn't do that together, I do not know. But before you kick black men back in, just know that we did not divide y'all up for Zoom calls.
Facts. And then I always say this, of course they've been fighting with me the last episode about Amber Rose and why I got to comment on feminism. And my favorite line is, the point of feminism is not to cause diversity amongst women. I'm just leave that, you know. How we gonna create separation and segregation amongst women and say, hey, we all together? But whatever, that's between y'all communities. Also, if you're a man out here and you trying to push the narrative that black men don't like black women, you are a liar and you are embarrassing.
And stop crying online.
Van Jones, which one was it?
I think Van did, and I think Bakari also did.
Well,
stop crying on air for showmanship.
Bakari, all I'm gonna say is, brother, you lived in North Carolina for a minute. We saw that tape.
He's from Orangeburg.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah. He used to be a South Carolina state rep. I think his dad used to be in the government.
That makes sense.
Funny enough, I used to be a bar in Columbia, and you see Bakari in there.
Bakari seems like a cool person. I mean, I knew a girl who knew him and his family. And she was like, yo, he's a nice guy. But, you know, Bakari, I can't say what I think about Bakari or why he was on there crying. I think that he did something that somebody had his back. And look, once you get higher up, people start making stuff disappear. And, you know, Bakari is one of those people, him and what's the dude who used to sit beside Kamala in the Senate House? Black dude. Oh, boy. Bald head, light skinned dude. He was on the other brother.
Oh, Cory Booker.
Yeah.
Where is Cory Booker?
Probably somewhere trying to get married because he would have fell in right in line. But Cory Booker, man, yeah, I like Cory Booker, man. He just not believable. Cory Booker, I would love to speak to you on how you become more relatable and believable. Because I'm telling you right now,
he is still in the Senate. We have not heard from Cory Booker for like 4 years.
Well, I mean, I saw him last election when he was trying to get somebody elected here in Charlotte, and he was super cool, but he ain't believable, bro. He be fake crying too.
Well, I mean, they're politicians.
Yeah, they actors. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Family Feud, man. They did a clip they are trying to make go viral. They were in Rhode Island, and the conversation of the greatest rappers came up. This list from let's just start at the top. The top number 1 was Snoop Dogg. Number 2 was Tupac, Eminem, Dr. Dre. 5 LL Cool J, 6 is Biggie, 7 is 50 Cent, and 8 was Hove.
I wonder, they had to poll this in Nova Scotia, Canada.
No, I think it was Rhode Island.
It was Rhode Island.
I think it was Rhode Island.
Dude, that is the craziest, wildest. You know what?
Whitest.
I think they ask people,
go ahead,
who's your favorite rapper? I don't, and I think they retitled it.
Yeah.
Because if they ask who your favorite rapper is, this list makes sense.
Absolutely.
But the greatest rapper, this list does not make sense.
What name and what place was the first eye opener for you?
Well, Snoop as the greatest rapper was obviously the biggest eye opener. Now,
really?
You know, here's the thing. You know who my favorite rapper is?
Snoop.
And I was just like, okay, he's not the greatest.
This list got weird to me because I think they changed the name too. Y'all not gonna get me.
Yeah.
I worked in marketing for too long. I know how we do it.
Yeah.
This list got weird to me at number 4 with Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre was definitely surprising. Like I said, I was just like, Dr. Dre, like, I mean, he has 2 really great albums. And
he only has 2.
And one of the greatest producers of all time.
And Snoop Dogg wrote the first one, and Jay-Z wrote the second. So that's where it gets weird to me.
I agree. And I mean, he did find Eminem, so to speak, and then he also found
Snoop.
50. He found
50.
Snoop. I think he influenced Pop. I mean, I get how he shows up, but I'm like, yo, I mean, y'all would have to make this, like, y'all would have been a record label to get this list and someone to consider all that to put Dr. Dre at 4. LL at 5, I wasn't mad at it. Respect, you know, if you know the story of hip hop during the 80s, the way that LL came up, the way that Jay-Z actually became Jay-Z I don't know if you ever seen the viral clip where LL was talking about when he met Jay and they was battle rapping basically.
Yeah, LL still seems mad about that.
Yeah, LL was like, man, I ran out of raps.
Yeah,
it was just like,
seems hot about that.
I wasn't really prepared for this new upcoming guy to have, you know, Jay-Z doesn't write raps down. It was kind of unfair. But I think that's hilarious. So I mean, wasn't mad at LL. Biggie's problematic, but I thought he would be higher.
What you mean problematic?
Yeah, this is rap lyrics that not age well.
Oh yeah.
50 Cent, not mad at 50 probably 50 and DMX probably dropping first 2 albums, and I'm leaving Outkast out of this, right? Because to me, Outkast, they're a group, they're not a rapper.
Good.
And but you know, like first 2 albums, I think those 2 like by far like best 2 albums dropped ever.
But it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, like just pure rap. We're not talking about artists. We're not talking about Kanye because I think Kanye is more art than rap. You know,
are you talking about rapping? I think. All right. Before we keep going, Hove is 8. I think this what threw the whole list off.
Yes.
Nobody's going to say Hove is the 8th greatest rapper besides Ryan, but Ryan is like 20. So
I think Jay-Z qualifies as the GOAT.
Jay-Z definitely does. So this is what I thought. I think that they asked people on the street in Rhode Island Who are some of your favorite rappers?
I think that was the question.
I have said this before, and I will say it again. The most popular person in this world, to me, is Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I think,
because he crosses over every demographic.
The dude is best friends with Martha Stewart.
He crosses over to my grandparents, who are in their late 80s, know who Snoop Dogg is. My nephew, who is 11, knows who Snoop Dogg is. And he crosses over every demographic. Every genre of music knows him. He is known. He is, I'm telling y'all, he's bigger than Beyonce. He's bigger than Taylor Swift. I'm talking popularity.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who this man is. So I wasn't shocked there. But Pac, problematic for me. Pac ain't in my top 5 no more. I'm just say that. I don't know how Dr. Dre got there. LL Cool J, I get it, popularity. When you think about the best representative for hip hop, it's always to me gonna be LL.
The best representative of hip hop by far, LL and Jay-Z.
Yeah, well, Jay-Z don't show up to nothing, and he problematic.
Well, he does not show up to anything. That is true. And you know what? Low key, representative of hip hop, him.
No, he's not representing. Man, whatever, man. You tried that. You snuck that in. Like LL gets to speak. When we're looking for people to speak at the 50th anniversary, it's going to be there. If you say, hey, this person got to be the hip hop award, to me, it's going to be LL. He just embodies that so much. And also, he still seems like he has steam for Jay in that situation. If you don't know, LL has been doing a conversation with Charlamagne, which is hilarious in itself. I guess they got over their past beef. And apparently, LL was rapping with some people in the club. They said, hey, LL he said he'd been rapping for a long time. They said, yo, we got this dude, Jay, he want to battle you as well. And he was like, I ran out of raps and I got up out of there. Apparently Jay-Z or the people around Jay-Z started running with, yo, we shut down LL.
He ran LL up out of there.
Yeah.
Which, if you're trying to get on, it's not really a bad take.
Some people got backs you got to kick in. So,
it's not a bad take.
Nah, so it was...
and LL and Charlamagne should be over the beef because we're all in our 50s and 60s.
Yeah, but
we're too old for this.
A couple of people gave Charlamagne that. LL wanted to fight Charlamagne at one point in time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's nobody I wanted to fight 20 years ago that if I run across them, I still want to fight.
You sure?
Yeah, the dude owed me a lot of money. If I see him, I'm just like, you know what?
What's a lot?
I won't say on air.
Is it a comment there?
Yes.
Oof. That's why I don't lend out money, man. I don't know. I don't lend out money for that reason. And that
no. You don't. This was a bad business deal go wrong, but yeah. So, and I like at this day, like there was a pretty strong stint that we could not see each other for sure. But at this part of my life, it's like, nah, man.
Mike gave somebody money to open up a car wash, and it did not work. That's what all the NBA players, all you NBA players who get got by the car wash, is hilarious.
Man, yeah, bro. They see us coming a mile away.
Yeah.
They do.
They be like, oh, my homeboy want to start off a car wash. Yeah. It's like, bro, that's not going to work, man. All right, let's do this. We're going to talk about this afterwards, but y'all understand where we're going with this.
Obviously, I'm not with him now, innit?
I hate music behind clips.
How often do you see them?
I know, especially when you got a British accent.
They have a room at your crib.
Of course, bruv, but come on, man.
It's not the same,
It's not the same, bruv. It's not the same, bruv, and it's...
And the music's so loud.
Life. It's my life at the moment, innit? And I've got to adapt. That's why I didn't want to do this show. I still don't want to, but it's got to come out. Like, I don't want anyone to think that because they see me still working and cracking on,
you're just fine.
That's it, of course I'm not, bruv.
How often are you seeing them compared to how you were seeing them before?
I see them whenever, man. Emma's like, we're still co-parent and we do loads of stuff together. Like, it's still there, man. Like, but it's just reminiscing, innit? Like, it's all good. Like, I'm through that now as it goes. Like, what the hell, man?
Yeah. All right, my man just crying too much, and I hate y'all accents.
And too much music. But
I stand with Kendrick.
The guy, what did Kendrick say?
It's no accent you can sell me, Drake.
Oh my god!
I'm bringing up Drake after this. Go ahead.
No, I brought this up. Being as a Black Dad's pod, the dude basically is saying that him and his girl is split, and they're having the kids in a 2-parent home, and how that affects you as a man. And I thought it'd be good to mention because a lot of men, listen to this pod. We're divorced. Obviously, we're dads, and we're raising kids in split homes. And sometimes you like, man, like. Is anybody else feel the way that I feel? And I can tell you, like as a man, like I definitely miss the kid, right? Like I have my son today. I'm dropping off at his mom, and you know, like I'm gonna miss him. And like my son is 10 now, and one of the things I forgot where we was at, and I was just like, I was like, no, we was picking up pizza because Thursday night is like pizza and wings night. Okay. So we grabbing some pizza and wings, and I was like, yeah, man. I was like, you know, back to your mom's tomorrow. It's like, you know, I'm gonna miss you. And he was just like, hey, he was like, you don't call me a lot when I'm at my mom. And I'm just like, you know, and of course that just hits you in the heartstrings, right? See? And I'm just like, all right, man, you know, I got to do a better job and make sure I FaceTime you when you're at your mom's. Because I think sometimes as men, I remember that when I was separated before my divorce, I wasn't seeing my son a lot. And he was like 2, and I was like, man, like, you know, is he still going to remember me, right? Like that's a real fear. Like I'm not seeing my kid, they're young, are they going to remember me, man? I remember the first time I saw him, like after we had custody finalized, like, yo, he reached for me and I was just like, yo, he remembers. So I feel everything that this dad is saying to any men out there that are experiencing this, going through this, bruh, if you do the best you can, you crushed it. It doesn't matter if your best is an A+, which it won't be, or if it's a C-, you're crushing it.
Absolutely. It's funny because, dang, I don't want to do sis like this because you definitely gonna know I'm talking about you if you still listen to the pod. We made a post one time and she kicked our backs in about having a kid out of wedlock. She kicked our backs in, Mike, and she probably deleted her comments. So much so she said, Gavin, unfollow me. I'm blocking you. And so she reached out to me a few weeks later and she said, I found out I'm pregnant. I said, cool, that's what's up. She said, I think I was just emotional then when I commented. I said, all right. I said, yo, good luck. If y'all need anything, feel free to start listening more to the pod. You'll get full stories, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, yeah, I am super glad that we're together. And I said, that's great to hear. I said, you're going to realize once y'all get together how you're going to realize if I'm going to do this alone, it will be tough. Haven't heard from her in a couple of months. I saw she was on Snapchat yesterday and I reached out to her and I was like, yo, how's everything going? And she's like, we're not together no more. And she's like, life has been hell for the last couple of months. And the only thing I'm thinking of is, woo, this is when I should pin the comment to the top of the thread.
It's the reason why we say, you know, don't do it. And like I said, because even when you do it well, right? Like this guy says, he's like, yo, I got full access to my kids. I can see him.
And he's crying.
Yeah. And he's crying, right? And it's like, you know, I mean, it's the same, like I have my son every other week. The weeks that I don't have him, you know, I can still see him if I really needed to. So it's one of those things, but it's like, yo, like you do miss them. Like the weeks. And this is why we talk about not having babies out of wedlock, right? And trying to make sure you have kids with the right person. Like the weeks I do not have my son, like I'm still listening for him. You know what I'm saying? That affects you. It's like, so if you could hold off as long as you can, make sure you find somebody that you can actually really, really be with, right? And I'm speaking as a man who didn't, right? I'm telling you, don't do what I did. Try to do better than me in this. Because if not, the way that man is crying on camera, that could possibly be you. It will likely be you.
Or you're going to be like our man who was saying he dropped his kid up. He picked his kid up. His kid came out the shower and he was wearing his towel around his breast. And he was like, I had to explain to my son, like, no, women do that.
Yeah, like, drop the towel down, son. And again, right, these are lessons that you have to teach your kids. And you got to be around your kid to teach your kid these lessons. I'm not telling any man that like, yo, you need to have 70% custody, full custody, 50-50. Right? I'm telling you,
get it all.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But do what's work. You don't want it to happen. Like, trust me, you do not want your kids 100% of the time. Like, women are struggling that does that, right? The men that I know a guy that's struggling that's doing that.
You talking about me? No, my wife ain't never home.
You didn't have your son. Don't do that, Ty girl. You know, but it's like I know a dude that struggles through that, right? And it's like, yo, he has no time. Like, yo, raising kids on your own is a no-go. That's an absolute 100% no, right? If you split, do everything you can to get along with the other parent. Even if you got to shovel shit, do it. Because it's going to make a better environment for the kid. And I'm be honest with you, man, you do need your time.
You do. It was funny. Karina came home and she this morning Ro was like, Ma, I want a granola bar. And so she's like, all right, let's go get one. I was like, he ain't got none. And she was like, well, he can get a banana. I said, we ain't got none of those either. And I said, he got waffles, grapes, and whatever. He give him that, he'll be good. And she was like, she came back upstairs. She was like, yo, why didn't you tell me? I could have ordered blah, blah, blah. Like, look, this is like, you got to communicate with me. And I looked at her, I said, you've been gone for this amount of time. I have to do everything else. The last thing I'm thinking of is what extra dishes he need for breakfast. Like,
Yeah.
he already gets a full breakfast. He goes somewhere where they feed him again. Like, and then she just looked at me and was like, my bad. Cause she get it. It's like, and it is tough, like doing all of this stuff on your own. I do laugh at all the moms who DM me and be like, yo, I'm trying to hang. Like, you got your kid, I got my kid, please. And it's like, you know, I think it's super dope.
You gotta have a community.
And Claire, you would not get me into the talk. We had a conversation in our group chat about this. Ryan invited the boys to sign up for dance with his daughter. And he said he used the term, they can open up their feminine side. And I told him,
What kind of dance?
I don't know. I don't know. You know, now they be having these kids, they be putting them at that age. Like, my boy is doing T-ball next month. At that age, bro, they just trying to get them in there. Like,
Yeah.
And so I imagine in dance, it's helping y'all to tumble, because these kids, you see my kid, he think he's Spider-Man. He'll jump off of something, but at least if we teach him how to tumble, he won't fall. But it was funny because I told him, I said, nah, none of that. And I said, this world is already soft. And my next line was like, and so I left it at that. And the girls in our group,
Oh yeah, I know they got on you.
they was trying to.
Yeah.
I will see them tonight, and we're having a wine tasting, so I know they're gonna jump on my case even more. But you know, I told them I don't equate feminine to soft to weak. And I think that's a lot of the conversations. You know, I am very much a part in this group that I'm a part of now, and groups I was before. It's only y'all on the internet who like to jump to conclusions, and you're going to drag me to the conclusion that you reach for. And I'm going to stand back. Like, I'm very good. Mike could tell you in the group chat, I'm very good at, no, bro, this is the exact word I used. This is the exact thing I said. You can't get me to go there. So I was telling them, I'm like, I never said feminism is weak. I never said soft is weak. I said, but I don't, just as well as I agree that we don't need more masculine women, I don't believe we need more feminine men.
Yeah, I mean, the feminine is for females, the masculine is for males. I'm not going to get into an internet fight or a real life fight on
Facts.
men or women are different. Men and women are different.
Yeah.
Do I think there's anything wrong with doing dance? Absolutely not. Do I think men need to perform as if they're women? Absolutely not.
Nope.
So
Better do some dance.
But do I think that do I think feminine means weak or soft? Absolutely not. Y'all get mad at me all the time because I give women all their credit, and I tell y'all how absolutely ruthless and brilliant women are simultaneously, and how easily it is for them to gaslight you because they are so intelligent, because they have to be. You know, so
You just kick they back in?
no, I gave them their credit. So I always give women all of their credit, but is masculinity like, I hate when I hear guys say, you need to get in touch with your feminine side. I hate that because your masculine side can provide everything that you need. Yeah, I always tell y'all, masculinity is care, grace, and mercy. That's what it is. That's what it means to be masculine, right? If you see a male lion with the cub, right, and he's gentle with it, right, that's not him being feminine. That's him being gentle.
Well, a lot of these dudes, moms,
caring.
a lot of these dudes who keep saying that, like, you need to get in touch with your feminine side, they never had a mom to tell them to be gentle.
Yes. Well,
and not be careless.
So it's funny you say that, right? One of the things that I've discovered between being a dad and talking to like doctors is a lot of times the doctors are saying basically like fathers are more gentle with the children because they are so strong. So a dad is going to wipe the kid's nose a lot more gently than mom is going to do it, right? Because he understands his strength. He understands his power. So that's why I always say, like, yo, masculinity is care, grace, and mercy. It doesn't mean that you can't be gentle, and still be masculine. This idea that we need to reach outside of ourselves to find things that are within us is just mind-boggling.
It is. Yo, before we get to the sports section, I want to hold on. Let me find the hand claps. I want to say congratulations to my uncle, Dr. Timothy Beard. Reason why I'm gonna congratulate him, he is the interim president at FAMU.
Nice.
Which I know that has been a lifelong dream of
Is that
his.
one of these college-educated black men that they can't seem to find out here?
Oh,
See, I'm just saying. It's always like, oh, especially African Americans are always told like, oh yeah, y'all, everybody else comes over here and just crush it, right? Yeah, all these narratives, I'm sick of. And you know what, man? Like I might start going in on him a little bit harsher.
Please.
Anyway, congrats to him though.
Congrats to him. Taylor said we need to start communicating from our dad podcast page in comments.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead.
All right.
Just put dash past the mic.
So you'll get your back kicked in.
Yeah. Which they're gonna do anyway, but still. But no, congratulations to him, especially, and let me tell you something. So, most of y'all don't know my uncle just finished a tenure at another college. He was heading to retirement. He was good to go. And then next thing you know, FAMU called and was like, yo, he got to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you don't get to choose when God answer your prayers.
Yeah.
And you got to be ready. You got to stay ready so you don't got to get ready. But I'm super happy for him. I talked to him. He's like, it's only a year. Then I can go back to retirement. But he's excited, man. Especially because he got his bachelor's from there. He got his master's and a doctorate, I believe, from FSU. So, super excited. I know my cousins are nervous as hell because they both went to FAMU. I was looking at some of y'all FAMU comments. I was about to go in on a couple of y'all, but
they're talking about your family, man.
They was kicking my uncle back in.
Hey, man, big ups, always and big ups.
Let me tell you this. This is how I just know we don't care about black people. Nobody knew anything about him. But I guess because of the drama before the previous president and because it's an election year, they are all scared on what type of games their president is going to play during an election year, which I was talking to your brother about it, which is funny. Your brother hit me up and was like, yo, can we use our eligibility to play basketball? So, but it was funny though, but their conversation was like, yo, like, it's an election year. You coming in, what type of games is he about to play with the president and what is going to happen? And I get it. But the thing is, you kicking a black man's back end who you know zero about. And he one of y'all. This ain't no regular person coming in as president.
Yeah. He's alumni.
Yeah, it's like, damn, like, what are we doing here? But I just thought it was just super interesting. But it was eye-opening. To read the comments, I was just blown away.
I mean, obviously, I'm not surprised on the internet. And the internet is not the world.
For black people.
For black men, it's not.
I am here to announce I play college football. I play my nephew who is 11. The score was 68-42 his way.
Dang.
He was leading 29-7.
What teams y'all have?
Let me tell you. I have Florida State. This boy played with Georgia.
Oh, yeah. Georgia they're gonna whop you.
Your brother, I called your brother. And he was like, how did it go? I was like, yo, he won by 2 touchdowns. He's like, who he had? I said, Georgia. He said, oh, you was never going to win.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not. He's like, that's the NFL team on there.
Yeah.
Georgia is unfair. My nephew made me hot. He had me hot. Of course, at the very end, he switches uniforms. So Florida State got their garnet and gold on, and he switched to the red Georgia uniform. So they the same color, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like I threw like 7 picks in the first
man,
half.
he ran a cheat code on you and everything. These kids are amazing.
He wouldn't tell me how to throw or to kick. They've made the game too complicated to me.
I definitely had to. I have been waiting on college football for the past decade. So I actually bought my PlayStation last year.
You did
for the game. So
you did.
So I definitely been waiting on it. I have definitely played it way too much this week. So much so that like my son, like he tried to play it and he was just like, nah, I'm not good with it. Yeah. And then he saw me playing it. He came back. He was like, all right. He was like, I'm gonna practice. And he was practicing yesterday. He was actually playing pretty good. So I can't wait to run the score up on him.
Oh, bruh.
Can't wait.
Hayden cheated and he's told me don't be coming line on him. I'm lying. He cheated. But Georgia wasn't fair, bro.
You can't run, when you have teams that have the same jersey color, that especially now that we're older in our eyes.
Yeah, I don't have time.
That is not gonna.
I can't even tell the distance between the player. I was thinking my player was the one ahead.
Dude, and the safeties always sitting right in the logo. You cannot see them. It's crazy.
Yeah, they made it too hard. I don't like the kicking. I don't like the throwing. Just whatever.
I like it though. I like it. Definitely played it too much this week.
I absolutely love LeBron fans giving LeBron an out for the Olympics.
What? I mean, it wasn't an out. We're just saying.
Y'all telling me that LeBron is playing against 189 NBA players
Well,
and Jordan played against 2. I was like, yo, what are y'all doing here?
Yeah, no, I mean, but it's real though. It's real.
No, this is y'all out. Y'all do this all the time.
No, Team USA should still win. I mean, if they don't win a gold medal, it's going to be disappointing. I will say, Ant, for all that trash you talk, brother, come on, man.
Katie, what's up? What's up? I know you hurt. Go home.
Yeah, no.
Go home, bro.
Yeah, I need Ant to show up, man. Like, y'all cannot ride LeBron at 40 in the Olympics. 40. Come on, man.
And shout out to LeBron saying this on me.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's supposed to say, though.
But you shouldn't have to.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to say. No, we need the young boys to definitely step up.
But
shout out to LeBron in that picture with Tyler, man, for being perfect in that photograph, by the way.
Was his hands behind his back? Or no, they were
in his pocket, bro. Hands in his pocket, gap, no smile. Like, I mean, it was perfect. That is textbook how you take a picture with a beautiful woman if you're married.
Facts.
Textbook. Go check it out on Twitter. Go look up LeBron takes a picture with Tyler. Like,
because I've been cussed out many times taking wrong pictures.
That is textbook, man.
I think my wife banned me from Oak Room. When we first got married, my little hot ass was out there in Oak Room taking pictures. If you said, "Oh my gosh, Gavin, you take pictures, come here," I will be all
over you. Yeah,
boy, I got cussed out many a times, and then she banned me.
Yeah. You can't go no more.
Can't go no more, man. What you got playing this weekend?
Oh man, college football. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Actually, I got stuff to work on, man. We got some big things coming, man. We actually had our pod audited. We're not as bad as we used to be,
but we not as good as we should be.
Not as good as we should be.
She tore us up. We are here to apologize for never introducing ourselves. We have assumed that you know who we are, and that is disgusting.
Yeah, that is terrible behavior by us, by the way.
But we're gonna fix it.
Yep.
I do want to shout out Ann for the art behind Mike. And you know Ann, Ryan's wife. Yeah. She shout out to her for the Jordan and Kobe, the Kanye and the Nipsey art. She actually drew that.
Wow.
And she's an artist, and so she kept complaining, like, so, you know, it's fun when your friends, like, the way they try to present stuff to you. I know Mike loves me because Mike should have punched me a couple times since then. He just hasn't, and he finds nice ways of telling me what I need to do, right? And so Ann kept telling me, yeah, I think y'all should decorate your pod space. It looks manly, but if it's gonna be manly, at least let it be nice manly. And then she kept coming back. And then one day, let me tell you how she really got me. Ann came up to me while I was at the house, and she just laid down all this art across her table, and she said, "You can have any art pieces you want that I've drawn." And I was like, "Oh, what I'm gonna do with it?" She was like, "I don't know, your studio."
Oh, so put it behind the wall, like what I've been trying to tell you for the last 6 months. Ladies, be more direct with us. I'm sorry, that's just how we are. Just be like, "Hey, that wall is empty. Here, put this painting up," and we're gonna do it. We're kind of easy like that.
Yeah, you just tell me. So I want to shout out to Ann. I will tag her so you can buy some art from her. Please use the code blackdadsclub. It is not going to work, but if enough of us complain that it didn't work, Ann will add it to her store. I don't know. Maybe Saturday, definitely maybe Sunday, we could play college football.
Okay.
But you gonna play at South Carolina?
Yeah, I can play South Carolina. Oh yeah. Nick Harbor. Yeah.
Maybe
buddy. Yeah, come get some of that.
I'll find a team, man. We could play that. Y'all, I want to thank y'all for listening, tuning in. Shout out to No Grease for always sponsoring the pod. They will be sponsoring our 150th episode. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be dope, and we can't wait to holler at y'all.
Holler at your boy.